guys, it's Caleb from KCNU Studios, and today I'm going to be continuing my series where I just talk about how I would do my own Godzilla movies if I had complete control in them, in an entire series, and I just talk about it. And yeah, so this movie we're going to be doing Godzilla versus King Kong, but before that, obviously I'm not on camera and in front of my desk, and the reason for that is I noticed that it wasn't entirely interesting, just me sitting there talking, so I'm going to try something different. I really hope that you guys like this, and hopefully it'll add more interest. So yeah, let's just get started with the story that I have made up myself. And so yeah, so Godzilla vs. King Kong, this is how I would do it. So a film crew go to an uncharted island to find that a giant gorilla that they call King Kong. So he fights giant dinosaurs, but is eventually captured by what's left of the film crew, because a lot of them, die on the island. It's the beginning is pretty much the same thing as the other King Kong movies. They decide to bring him to New York and show him to the world. Before they threw chloroform at him to get him, to go to sleep. Kong, he finds these berries that he's been eating on the island, and he takes one of them and he just eats a whole bunch of them. And so as Kong was on the boat to bring him to New York, they noticed that he had grown, he got a lot bigger, that he grew a lot since they were on Skull Island. So Kong awakens, and he's in a giant baseball field, and he's in chains, noticing that he's reached over 50 meters, so he's huge now. So Kong manages to break out of the chains. People are rushing and screaming, and chaos is in the baseball field when Kong finds more berries on the side that they had taken from the island. They thought they could make a lot of money off of them, but Kong gets them, he eats a whole bunch of them, and when he ran out, he went and he started to bust through the city and just start wreaking havoc. So King Kong destroys New York. That's where he was, baseball field, New York, haha. I thought since he's 50 meters, he wouldn't fit in a auditorium or a theater like they normally put him in. I was like, well, baseball field, because so yeah. So King Kong, he goes and he destroys New York. The U.S. comes out to fight Kong. They find that he's over 100 meters tall. His sheer brute combined with speed is too much for the army, as Kong just massacres them. He destroys the military and part of the city. He beats his chest and roars extremely loud. And the scene cuts to Godzilla, and he's sleeping under the ocean in the Sea of Japan. He awakens after hearing a roar, and He awakens after hearing Kong's roar and the beating of Kong's chest from so far away. So he actually heard it. He has a flashback in the time of the dinosaurs when they were both only around 20 feet tall, so they're both like dinosaur size. Before Godzilla's nuclear test and Kong ate the berries, so they're both really short. Not babies though, just really, really short, because they weren't mutated. So there's that, and so they're just fighting brutally in this flashback that Godzilla remembers. Other giant gorillas had killed some of Godzilla's kind, so Godzilla, he watches as his kin's jaws are ripped open. So Godzilla, he goes back to his he gets back to his senses, and he goes and he swims over to where King Kong was, where he heard the noise. So meanwhile, in UN, the UN holds a meeting in London, since Kong is in New York. New York is where the UN building is, so they decide to go to London because they don't want to get destroyed by Kong. Where they talk about how they can kill Godzilla and the other monsters. They knew tanks, missiles, planes, they were all just effective against him. So even giant robots couldn't hold up. Then a businessman steps up, claiming that he could fund a G-Force agency in which weapons to stop giant monsters are designed and used to stop them. They all agreed that the plan should be carried out, so like pretty much all the countries in the UN meeting, they agreed that they should do this. And so the man named Akiko Serizawa, they gave him complete control over the operation. Most nations, or like a lot of nations, they actually even helped like fund the operation. So they're all leaving and stuff until suddenly they get news that Godzilla was nearing New York Bay. Several risky news peoples were sent out to go and fight Godzilla, or not fight Godzilla, get news about, I mean, you know, just record the battle that's gonna happen. Because they know where Godzilla is, he is a fierce one. He's not a nice one. He's gonna go and he's gonna fight everything. So they're gonna go, or these news people, these risky ones, are gonna go and, you know, just film it. Because they're risky. Okay, Godzilla reaches ashore. Kong is on top of the Empire State Building waiting for Godzilla. Their fight begins. King Kong mostly has the upper hand in the battle. He tries to rip Godzilla's jaw open in the middle of the fight when he blasts him with his breath. So, I have always wanted this. You know how Godzilla, or not Godzilla, King Kong, he rips dinosaurs' jaws open until they're dead? Well, he tries to do that to Godzilla. Godzilla just shoots his atomic breath at him, like the ultimate screw you moment. Yeah, I mean, just like, think of how awesome that would be. Kong had never even seen Godzilla's atomic breath until now. Godzilla had the upper hand in the battle. As the battle continues on, they get near to the shore. So, towards the end of the battle, Kong, he's nearly dead, and he tackles Godzilla, and they both tumble into the water and disappear. Until Kong emerges from the water and swims away. Suddenly, he's back into the ocean. Godzilla and Kong wrestle under the water. Godzilla stomps Kong as he drowns. Kong lay dormant, and Godzilla swims away. So, it's basically the ending for King Kong vs. Godzilla, but there's a twist on this one. King Kong, he comes out of the water, and everything seems fine now, and he just starts swimming away until Godzilla pulls him under, drowns him to death, and it is just a total screw you moment to King Kong. And yeah, I don't have any other plans for Kong for my series, so I just decided to, well, kill him off. You know, this movie I would prefer to be more of a, you know, like a big event. Instead of Godzilla versus one of his monsters, this is like a Godzilla versus a whole nother monster not from his own series, if you know what I mean. Like how King Kong vs. Godzilla felt. Like, this is a big deal, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed my thoughts on how I would do this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and go subscribe to G-Man P Production. He is almost at 50 subscribers. He's at 48. Go subscribe to him, and yeah, so in his newest fan film, I'm actually going to be voice acting in it. So, yeah, G-Man P Production, he's been an awesome friend to me so far. He's very nice, very cool, and he has an awesome YouTube channel. So, go check him out, go support him, and subscribe to him. And, yeah, well, I'll be seeing you guys later. Bye-bye.